Okay. Cool. So, how do I even introduce this?
Gobekli Tepe!
Okay. So, I feel like that's just gonna be the intro. That's gonna be the intro.
Me just yelling this bullshit? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, welcome to the first episode of our podcast, Gobekli Tepe. If you don't know the reference, you will eventually. If you can't decipher it from the beginning or from anything that we ever mentioned in reference to Gobekli Tepe, then I don't know what to say. But you'll get it eventually. So this is basically our podcast. My name is Juan, and the other guy's name is Juan.
I'm also Juan.
If you don't know who we are and you're listening to this, we are two lifelong friends from Argentina. So there's the Argentinian bias in case you ever hear it. So we're from Argentina. We've been friends for forever. And we decided to put together a podcast that would be of everything that we ever talk about except it's recorded. So, yeah, Juan, I don't know if you want to give yourself an introduction of sorts.
I mean, I guess, yeah, I'm Juan. Shit.
You're in California.
I don't really have much to say about myself. I'm in California. Juan Pablo's in New York.
Yeah.
We're both... Well, I'm fresh out of college. Juan's got one more year.
Yeah.
We're just trying to...
If you ever hear him reference JP, that's me. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And this podcast is basically going to be a bunch of updates, a bunch of things that we're going to be talking about. We're both very passionate about film, about music. He's more passionate about TV than I am. I do a lot of music production and a lot of design work, so we're just going to be talking about a lot of things in between. And yeah, that's basically it. So if you want a podcast that basically captures every single aspect of the entertainment industry in a very concise way, then this is the podcast for you. So I think, so the format basically of the podcast is going to be an intro, and then we'll go into the updates right now, and we're going to have a major topic that we'll talk about, and we'll have a song that we want to talk about, and then there's going to be a mini topic, and then we'll wrap up with media that we want you to be updated on for next week. There's going to be a weekly podcast, by the way, right? We're going to try to do we want to release every Monday. I think that's the plan for now. That makes sense. So I don't want to really run over the intro for too long, but major updates this week. If you can agree with me, we were talking about this, but Scorpion just came out last week. Well, yeah.
Well, it came out sometime this week.
Thursday night, yeah. Came out a little earlier than I expected. That's a major Drake drop. We're going to get into that later on, so I don't want to talk too much about it.
But it's pretty good.
But it is pretty
Drake's
fire.
The worst.
Yeah, Juan's a pretty big Drake hater, but somehow Drake has managed to slide into his heart. But we'll talk about that. Major updates that are pretty relevant. World Cup is all over the place. We'll talk about that. That's going to be our major topic, so I don't want to divulge too much information in regards to that. And I don't know, what other major things have happened this week? What were you going to say?
I mean, for me, I could pretty much talk about the things I know about. So there's some new movies out right now. So I know that Sicario 2 is out and it's getting decent reviews. I haven't seen Sicario 1 because I fell asleep the one time I watched it.
It was so good, though.
I will be watching both of them sometime this week, probably. But I know that that's out, so Josh Brolin's obviously having a great year. Let me think. I know that Ant-Man and the Wasp is getting weirdly high reviews.
Is it actually?
Which I wasn't expecting. Yeah, it's 90% on Rotten Tomatoes right now or something.
That's amazing.
Which is weird to me. But there are also another big movie. I think it came out a while ago, but it kind of opened up bigger this week. Is the Mr. Rogers documentary, Hello Neighbor. Is that what it's called? Won't You Be My Neighbor? Sorry. So that's apparently really, really, really good. But obviously, right now, the movie that's dominating is Jurassic World, at least for another week, before Marvel takes over again.
Which you saw, right?
Oh, yeah, I saw it last week. It was fine.
How'd you feel about it?
The first one.
Okay.
I mean, it's good, but I think it drags on a bit, and there's like, I don't know. I didn't really feel satisfied with some of the stuff that happens in the second half. And I mean, if you go in like me and haven't seen any of the trailers, I mean, great, because you haven't seen the second half. But I went back and watched some of the trailers that people said were spoilery, and I mean, if you've seen the trailers, you've seen the movie. Which is a shame.
Yeah, I guess that's the major thing that blockbusters ruin for themselves. I mean, the thing that I remember the most about like that whole concept is Batman vs Superman. Me and you were so mad at the last trailer. He just completely ruined the whole thing.
I mean, the movie was already pretty bad, but man, they didn't have to show everything to us. Like,
yeah, the third reveal trailer just literally it gave you no reason to just watch the movie at that point, because you already knew what the big reveal was.
Who would have hoped for Doomsday, honestly? I'm sorry, spoilers for Batman v Superman, I guess.
What is it, 2 years? It's a dead topic at this point. It was dead like a week after.
It's so dead.
Yeah, but okay. I think that the more relevant thing we should be talking about, let's just head straight into our topic. Unless you want to have anything else. Do you want to update with anything else?
Not really. Okay. I was looking into news that, if anything, that's happened this week, and I didn't really think anything, kind of media and, like, kind of art-wise has been going on. Yeah. So, I mean,
I think the only thing that because we're not going to delve too much in politics, on this podcast, but the one thing that I did want to touch upon is I don't know if you saw this might not be super new, especially the way like viral news works, but did you see Jimmy Fallon's response to Trump calling him out?
No.
Oh my god, you have to watch that video. Like, after
Trump called out Jimmy Fallon?
Trump called out Jimmy Fallon. He was like,
why?
He was basically like, be
Jimmy
a man.
Fallon he's just like an idiot.
No, Jimmy Fallon. I know, but the thing is, like, Jimmy Fallon's so nice, right? They just like, why would you call him out, right? And I think by idiot you mean that like he's just like such a goofy guy. Like,
yeah, 100%.
And
I love him.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I don't remember when, but before Trump became president, he had Trump on the show, and I think that the reason why Trump got like petty is because Fallon was like, he said, in retrospect, I think that I wouldn't have taken the opportunity, or something about like, I would have approached it a little differently. And Trump was basically like, like, just because like you're having me on the show. He basically got offended, as he usually does, by everything, and he went on Twitter, basically told Fallon to grow up and be a man. And then Fallon did this, his entire cold open was about this whole Trump nonsense with him, and he slayed it as usual.
So what you're saying is that Trump and Fallon got beef now, and maybe we should expect a mixtape from Trump.
I would hope so. Now I would expect a mixtape from Fallon.
Oh,
at this
100%.
point. I need this to happen. But if it's anything like the Drake and Pusha beef, then it'll be Trump with a really, really terrible diss that'll basically be like, Jimmy Fallon, I know where your kids live. And then Fallon will just basically dedicate an entire episode to Trump, and will be like, wait, but I'm the bigger man. And then he'll end Trump's career. There you go. If he even had one to begin with.
I mean, Trump's rap career is already pretty weak.
Yeah.
You already know that the number one rapping president is gonna be Kanye when he runs.
Yeah, for what was it, 2026? Is that what he said now? Is that the update?
It's totally not. I mean, well,
for 2024. Sorry.
I can't rule out anything that Kanye does, but that would be. I mean, I'm looking forward to the inaugural.
I'm looking forward to High Snobiety and all the Hypebeast articles to just covering his entire run. I think that's basically how it's gonna go.
I'm excited to see how they talk about how Kanye dresses at the debates.
Yeah.
Because that'll be fun. Streetwear at the debates, that's new.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine like all the hype companies start covering like just the way presidents or the candidates just dress up during the debates? Like,
yo, Kanye will be arguing with someone. He'll just be like, they'll point out their suit, and he's just gonna be like, it's not even Supreme. Come on.
No, it's like it's not
Polo. Up there with like a fucking
but it ain't Ralph
t-shirt,
though.
like...
But it ain't Ralph though.
It ain't even Ralph though.
He's gonna go against like some other person, and they're gonna be like, let me stop you right there. Like, it ain't Ralph though. Period. And then he's just gonna drop the mic. He's gonna leave it. He's gonna leave the debate like 5 minutes into it, and that's it.
The best part's gonna be that the debate's probably gonna be about like the refugee crisis or something, and he's just gonna be like, it's not even Ralph though.
I think we should drop a Yeezy supply on all the refugees, and that will be the end of it.
Let them resell it.
Dude, that's how you boost an economy. Just introduce a streetwear and then have all the kids resell it.
Okay.
All right. World
so
Cup
you want to get back?
updates.
You want to get up into our favorite topic of especially this week, especially after yesterday.
Yeah. So of course the major update, the major one, is that Argentina lost against France, which honestly,
well played game.
Well played.
I'm not gonna lie, we're Argentinian, but you know, it was a good game. I had hope. Argentina crushed my hope, just like they do all the time, every time. And you know, I'm looking forward to seeing them lose again in 4 years.
Yeah. Okay. So wait. So I'm gonna give my spiel on this because I feel like I'm always the devil's advocate between me and you and Mateo, our third Argentinian friend,
Join the podcast,
who will hopefully bounce on the podcast every now and then. I'm hoping. But I'm always a devil's advocate here. I remember in 2010, not even 2010. Let's go a little forward. After we
14.
lost in 2014, and then proceeded to lose again in what, 2015 or 16? 16, right?
15 for Copa America.
Yeah, whichever. Yeah, I think whatever it was when we lost.
Is the year right after.
Yeah. I basically my thoughts on the team are that we need to crash and burn, and like a phoenix rise from the ashes. Literally, you can quote me on that. But I feel like Argentina, ever since, from my understanding, we didn't even qualify past the knockout rounds. Before 2006, I think we had some trouble. In 2006, we got to quarters, I think, right? And we lost. Yeah,
2006 was Germany.
Yeah, we lost in the quarters. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we lost to Germany. It was rough.
Yeah. And then 2010 we lost again
to Germany.
Right, and then
I might be confusing one of those.
No, I don't think.
I don't think we lost to Germany both times. I think we did in 2006, but I think in 2010 we might have lost to like the Netherlands or something.
Yeah. And then 2014 we lost to Germany, of course, in the finals. Who could forget that? Followed by us losing in the finals in the Copa America.
Chile.
Right. To which my opinion is, right, like, Messi is a great player. People don't at me, honestly, because like people are gonna say that Messi sucks. No, he doesn't suck. Okay, Messi's a great fucking player. Great player.
You saw some of those runs today, like yesterday. Some of the runs that Messi had, ridiculous runs, and he would have scored a goal too. Or earlier, there was it was one of the it was before the third goal that he did score. He had a run that was so good. He came from like midfield. He went past like all the defenders, got to the goalie, and then he tried, but like it just kind of he missed the follow through, which is unfortunate. But not many people, no one could just run through the defense like that unless it's a garbage defense like Argentina's.
Right. Well, that's the thing though, right? Like, I feel like the issue with Messi is that, and people, because I saw this meme the other day, which was like, no, Mateo showed it to us actually. The meme was like it's Messi running into like a burning house, right? Did you see that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Messi running
like
into. I don't want to quote this wrongly, so I'm gonna pull it up. But basically, it's Messi running to a burning house, and what happens is he's chosen between having to pick up Argentina or Barcelona, and he runs out of the burning house and saves Barcelona, which he always gets a lot of shit for that because people are always saying like, oh, Messi only plays for Barca. But you have to understand one concept, which is that like when Messi is on Barcelona, like the team understands him as a player and they work with him, right? Whereas in Argentina, everyone wants to be a star. It's like it's that Argentinian ego. Like I'm very honest about it. Like Argentinians have this massive, stupid pride and ego, and it's like
some might say we do too.
It's their ultimate downfall. I'm not even going to talk about us. I'm going to talk about the players. I think it's their ultimate downfall, to be completely honest. I think everyone wants to be a star, and they don't know how to play as a team, and it shows constantly. Especially the demotivation once, because in the Germany game, you could tell, just like the motivation was going down and down and down.
And at the end, it was just, I mean, frankly, I would have hated if that final went to penalty kicks, but like at the end, I feel that they won. I feel that they won by luck. Germany beat us 4 years ago by luck, and then I mean, I think we lost fair and square to France this year. I think it was a well played game. I think it was one of the worst calls in history of fucking soccer, taking Rojo out for no reason. Because you know how many goals they got while Rojo was in? 0. You know how many they got? Well, I guess a penalty kick. You know how many they got in when he was out? Fucking 3. Like, that's some bullshit.
That's the thing. Like all the switches were whack, and they should have put Agüero in a lot earlier.
Way earlier. What kind of switch was like in the 85th minute? Come on.
Did you see the hustle that he put in?
Yo, the second he got in, he almost scored, and then the goal happened.
Right.
Ridiculous. Right. And then the only reason, and then did you see at the end, the last 2 minutes or whatever, when we almost scored right there?
Nah, dude. Last 2 minutes is when
that was hustle.
Yeah, the second to last minute, Agüero scored. Yeah. They were hustling at that point. The last 10 seconds, I've never seen Argentina more motivated to score in my life.
They were so ridiculous. Close, too. It was just, they missed a header. And, they blew through the defense. It was incredible. I was actually, my heart was pumping. I thought it was going to happen. I mean, it didn't, but it was incredible.
No, yeah.
And that's the team. That's the team we want to see.
It's the kind of hustle that we needed the entire game.
Oh yeah. Just some bad calls by the judge.
The ref.
The ref did okay. I don't know. You guys, or Mateo was saying that the penalty kick was kind of bullshit. I rewatched that.
Dude, honestly, there were penalties
like should have been called. His shirt.
More penalties should have been called. So I think
there should have been a penalty on France. They tripped up Messi in the box when he was about to score. That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
And I feel like that happened not just against France, but against pretty much every game we've played. Where Messi pretty much is surrounded by 4 or 5 players, and all of a sudden just knocked down right before he scored, right before he can go for a kick. And they do the replay, and you see the players slide tackle, not the ball, him, and it's fine. Which really frustrates me, but
the one thing I will say though that I found very interesting, because I'll be honest, I don't generally watch soccer too much unless it's the World Cup or unless Argentina's playing or Barcelona. But the one interesting thing that I saw, and I could, again, because I don't watch that much, I could be not updated on this, but I thought it was so interesting that now the ref, if there's a very close call, they can go check the monitor for a replay.
The VAR.
Yeah, I thought that was really sick.
I think that's one of the best additions to soccer ever, especially considering the memes we've gotten of Neymar's glorious flops.
Oh boy. we can't even get into that.
I really hope that Brazil fails tomorrow or whenever the fuck they're playing.
You know, honestly, I'm down for them to win, but like, I don't know. It depends on how they play. I need Neymar to stop being another actor. I need him to focus less on his acting career and more on his soccer career. Because to be honest, I've been watching the Brazil games.
He's good. He's a good player, but he would rather throw himself onto the ground to try to get a penalty kick than actually finish a goal.
But not only that, honestly, I'm much more of a fan of the other players on Brazil than Neymar. Not gonna lie, because all the goals that have been scored by Brazil thus far, for me, have been quite impressive, and none of the impressive ones have been by Neymar.
Yeah, but you know, the most impressive goal in the World Cup was by Di Maria.
So far, yeah, that was. Okay, no. Actually, wait, we have to talk about something really important that happened before this. I don't know. Did you see the game, the Germany-South Korea?
Yes.
You can't tell me. Okay, I will say the Di Maria goal was incredible. But that last goal by South Korea, Jesus Christ, that run, he ran for his life, dude. Like, I've never seen the hustle to have because the thing is, like, you'll see that play all the time. Like, I've seen that play a few times where, like, the goalie is well out of the box and the defense is very pushed up, and in a last minute attempt they're like, fuck it, we're gonna get this goal in, let's punt it to the other side and let's have one
player just run through. Yeah.
But I've never seen it actually finish the way he did it. Again, I don't watch a lot of soccer, so there could have been one that was very similar that happened a couple years ago. I'm not sure. But as far as I'm concerned, World Cup, I've seen the games, and this has been incredible. That was incredible.
I think
someone played the Titanic. There's a meme where someone played the Titanic music during that part, and I wish I'd sent it to you beforehand because it's absolutely hilarious.
I'm not sure. I'm pulling up the highlights real quick just to make sure. But if I remember correctly, I do think that goal was similar to actually a goal that Maradona made back against England in the same game that he did, the bullshit hand of God.
Yeah.
But
when VIR didn't exist.
yeah, that same game, he pulled a run, from, it was on Argentina's side. He ran all the way across, but he actually got around the goalie, while the South Korean, the goalie was already too far.
Well, but that's the thing, though. That's the thing. I'm not referring, because Messi has done it too. I'm pretty sure he was on Barcelona when he did it. Where the run was extremely fast, the defense was very, very limited, and they sprint right past the defense. I think I actually saw a video years ago. It's a comparison between Messi and Maradona when that exact play, where they finesse the goalie essentially and run right into the goal. That's obviously extremely impressive. I just think that
that goalie got so bamboozled. But no, this one I just rewatched it. I was wrong. The goalie was just too far out.
It was impossible.
Huge mistake on Germany's part.
And that's the thing, though. The Germany goalie, I don't know what his name is, but he will, when the last couple minutes of the game are happening, he'll kind of go out, and he'll even during the penalty, which I've seen this before. I think it's risky. I wouldn't do it, but during the corners, he'll actually go into the box of the players in an attempt to be one more player to head in a possible goal. I think it's risky.
Insane.
I think it's too risky. But it wasn't failing until then. And it's funny because it failed for them in the worst possible point when that goal, when this match really mattered.
Oh yeah. I mean, an elimination match really, in literally in group stages for Germany to get out, that hasn't happened in years.
Yeah.
I mean, decades, really, ridiculous.
I mean, especially when we talk about Germany, the machine.
But yeah. And And I mean, we can talk about other big teams that have been eliminated. I mean, tomorrow there's going to be a big elimination no matter what, seeing as, Brazil's playing Mexico. And I'm kind of rooting for Mexico to go to the finals or maybe play Uruguay in the semis. Because I think that Uruguay is kind of on top of their shit this year. Even though, I mean, their game went to penalties.
Well, we can't say much about that.
Oh, wait, no, their game didn't go. Did it? Sorry, I'm blanking right now. Yeah, no, they won. Both games today went to penalties, I'm sorry. But I think that Uruguay can very much go all the way. But Brazil or Mexico's out tomorrow. So that's a big elimination, no matter which one it is. And I think Mexico's goalkeeper's on top of his shit.
Yeah, no, it's been so impressive.
Fucking Shia LaBeouf with an afro is the shit. He is one of the best goalkeepers out there right now. Yeah, that makes the difference between a good team and an amazing team, I think. I'm disappointed that Romero wasn't our goalkeeper. But
man, that's another conversation, man. Like,
fucking
it's so irritating.
Don't you just love it when the goalie just gives the ball to the other team?
Not only that, but like, you have a great name. Sorry, this is like my fashion side coming up, but you have a name called Armani, right? Armani. Live up to the fucking name.
I'm talking Caballero. Armani was a bit better. Caballero was garbage. Armani did better. But yeah, he fucked up against France, and I think that's primarily because he didn't have Rojo, who's like the only guy who could catch up to Mbappe. Phenomenal player by the looks of things. What a speed lord! Like,
no, they killed it. And the other guy, there was one more person. The other guy who scored 2 goals during the match. He kind of looks like. Oh man, he looks like an actor that passed away a couple years ago, really tragically. Anyways, both of them. The thing is, like, their runs were fantastic. Like, France's runs were we're like jumping games here again, but like France versus Argentina yesterday. Was it yesterday? No.
It was.
Okay, yeah. Yesterday. The runs were incredible. Like,
oh yeah.
I can't really say much other than the fact that, like, again, it was a great game. I think we were lacking on our defense as we did the entire game, but our offense was actually on top of their shit. It was just like a matter of a poor strategy, and like, again, that taking out Rojo was just terrible.
What a bad idea. What a bad idea.
Thing is, like, and we saw this, but Sampaoli, which is like the coach, he's not stepping down, which I'm curious I want to know more now, right?
The players hate him. I don't understand.
Yeah, I want to understand that move, and maybe it could be contractual. We never know. It could be contractual. It could be, who knows what it is. I don't know. The other issue is that, like, you know, if you fire him, like, what is Argentina left with? I don't know. Not to say that there aren't great coaches out there that could probably replace him. I just don't see how the team can prosper knowing that their coach isn't one that is loved. Like, he was literally, the goals that were happening yesterday, we had 3, right? Obviously the last one wasn't celebrated very much because we were trying to rush for a 4th.
Yeah.
But
what a goal it was, though.
Which was fantastic, right? The issue for me is that, like, you saw Sampaoli, like, celebrating by himself. You know what I mean? He was celebrating by himself. He left the halftime early, obviously. He came back early. There wasn't very much interaction.
Yeah, he and the players clearly don't get along, and that's an issue. That's an issue that they're gonna have. I mean, going forward with the Copa America coming up, I'm sure Messi wants one of those. I mean, you know, he doesn't have a World Cup, but he doesn't have a Copa America either. So
it's a frustration, man. Frustration.
I mean, if he's gonna win one, now's the time, right? Like, the only real competition that we got in Latin America, and let's not talk about North America, is literally Uruguay. And I mean, it's always Uruguay, but I think we can beat Uruguay.
Yeah,
the other
the thing
teams
is, we gotta
the
stop.
other teams are playing like shit.
We gotta stop screwing up, man. Though, like and the reason why I'm just, do you know where? Again, I'm being ignorant here, but do you know where the next Copa America is?
No idea.
Okay.
Man,
But the
we don't
reason
know
why I
shit.
mentioned this is only because I've heard this spoken about before, and I believe that this is a factor. Scientifically, I think people will back me up on this. There's a factor to this, which is like the landscape and the arenas that people play in. I think because the World Cup this year was in Russia, we have to think about climate and how climate affects players' ability to like perform.
Mhm.
I think it is a factor, and I think that maybe the fact that Russia's climates are so different from, well, they can be very different from South America's. It left a lot of exactly. It left a lot of South American teams kind of screwed over. I'm not gonna blame it entirely on the temporal climactic changes, because I don't think it's 100% the reason. But I think that, for example, in my opinion, right, Chile has a pretty good advantage when it comes to stamina, and you saw this during the last Copa America, because they were clearly giving us a run for our money, which was the fact that like they play in an area that has a lot less oxygen. They're playing at higher elevations, higher altitudes, and so training at higher altitudes, of course, gives you better stamina when you're playing at lower altitudes. It's like an oxygen thing, right? And so they had pretty good benefit when they were playing in America. That's the thing. Now, I'm curious to see how climate is going to affect the next Copa America, because I'm hoping that, regardless of what the place is, that we can actually benefit, and at least Messi can take home something. I mean, I say Messi, but also, like, come on, we gotta give it to Masche as well, Mascherano. Like, he needs...
Yeah, Di Maria,
yeah.
These players deserve it. It's in Brazil, by the way.
Okay, yeah, so
we that's a fine climate for us. I mean,
you would have thought, sorry, not to bag on Brazil, but, like, you would have thought that the whole World Cup debacle would have left them unqualified to host another one of these tournaments. But we back, apparently. So
nope. Who cares? I guess it's just in Brazil again.
Yeah.
I mean, there aren't that many places it could be. It moves around, but it's already been in America. It's already been in Argentina, Chile. It's been in recent years. It's been in Uruguay, Argentina recently, and Chile. So I mean, there's only so many places it could be. The countries are pretty small.
Yeah, I guess so.
But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I think we have a chance. I mean, we always do. But it's gonna be messy.
Here's the thing: we gotta carry our damn offense. Like, defense gotta carry the offense. That's it. We gotta keep Rojo. Let him work like a dog with the defense, but we gotta keep our defense strong. That's it. That's all that we gotta work on.
We can't let so many goals in. We really can't.
I know.
We let a goal in every single game. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
That's not okay. We can't let goals in every game. Like,
not to mention the Croatia game, because that was just an embarrassment.
That didn't happen.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What Croatia game?
Yeah. We're gonna avoid that topic. No, I think that we need to, because here's the thing, I was very impressed because Di Maria, great player, right? Nothing against him. Definitely showed himself off a lot more this last game, because people talk about Messi's runs and how he can get through the defense really quickly and all this other stuff, and we know him for that. Di Maria has some crazy runs. He was bobbing and weaving through the defense, in my opinion, better than Messi was at some points, which I thought was incredible. But we really got to take, and also Di Maria and just like other players, they really got to take advantage of just shooting from outside the box and just praying for that shotgun goal.
Just praying.
Come on, like Davis did it.
If they've
Di
got
Maria
a shot,
did it.
They should.
because the reality is, like, when you're shooting from that spot, like, you don't really know. You're obviously not that secure, but you're like, fuck it, on like a whim, I'm gonna go for it. But some of these shots, like, Di Maria curved that ball borderlining the pole. It was beautiful.
Beautiful shot. I mean, Messi had a similar shot in the same game, but he hit the pole.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Beautiful shot. Di Maria fucking killing it. Absolutely killing it.
Which very much, again, and I mentioned this to you before, reminded me of that Davis goal.
Yeah. Against Mexico, I don't know. If
was that
2014?
I
or
believe that was
2010.
06 as well.
I don't know. I don't remember when it was, but I remember it was against Mexico.
Okay.
It's like a 3-0 game. It was... What a game that was.
Yeah, no, it's phenomenal to see those kind of goals, because they're always unexpected. I mean, when you see people playing in the box, you're like, all right, I'm ready, I'm in goal mode. That Di Maria goal was not, I was not ready in goal mode. I borderline missed it by looking at my phone. Like, so I just think that's incredible. And I hope that we get to see more of that, because the skill is definitely there. You just need the glimmer of hope. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That glimmer
Absolutely
of hope.
agree.
Speaking of glimmer of hope, though, the goal by who was it? Who was it that scored that crazy, what was it, second goal that we had?
Oh, that bullshit. Kind of. I mean, it was
like Messi
it
was going for the goal.
It should have been Messi, but then it was someone else.
I think it was Mercado. Mercado like touched it. He was like, I'm gonna try and help here.
At the end there. It was Mercado. Yep.
He was like, he wasn't even facing the goal. Like, he literally turned around just a little bit and tapped it, and just like,
oh, the ball.
No, but that was the beauty of it, though, because like I don't think he was intending on scoring, but he fucked up the goalie real bad, because the goalie already was reading the trajectory for Messi's hit.
Yeah.
Right. And
yeah.
And he was just like, nah, let me just tap this.
Just make it go somewhere else, and then got him good. All right, and I'm gonna have a controversial hot take about one of the players.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, we say a lot of things about this player, but he had some pretty good runs. I gotta admit, Higuain surprised me.
Don't even start here, dude.
You know, I mean, he pulled a few Higuains in the game.
A few? They were definitely... they cost us the game. They always cost us the game.
Yeah, but he had some good runs.
No,
I
mean, I agree.
My stream, for some reason, had a live Higuain cam, which was just following him.
Right.
And I don't know why. Of all players to follow... Like, give me a Maradona cam, I'd be happy, because it's funny. Him doing all his controversial bullshit.
Right.
But, like, why an Higuain cam? Anyway, some of the runs that I saw him play, like, oof. Like, he should have not tried to finish and passed it to Messi, and then maybe we would have gotten some more goals.
But here's the thing, right? Because, like, okay, Higuain has made it into a premier club team, right? Then he's in the official selection for Argentina, like the international team, right?
Yeah.
And you see this across the board, because how many World Cups has he played in now? 3, right?
3, yeah.
And
4, I think. Maybe.
Right, 3, 4, right? And his fucking finishes are a meme. Like, you would think, what is that? It's a minimum of 12, because the World Cup is every 4 years. It's a minimum of 12 years he's been memeing himself.
Unable to finish. How does he do it?
But the thing is, it's like, it's not even about a disability to finish, because you would say, okay, maybe he kicks it softly sometimes, maybe, like, he curves it out too much. No, he punts the fucking ball like he's playing like American football. And it's so ridiculous. Bad. He's, because I understand he wants to give back, but he's giving back too much. Like, he wants to give that ball to the audience. I get it. But stop. It's like FIFA doesn't even allow you to do that anymore. FIFA doesn't give you the ball. They ask you to return it because it has very complicated technology in it now. You can't even keep the ball anymore, so stop giving it to them.
It's ridiculous. I don't know what the idea is. He fucking just throws it into the stands, and it's just like, yup, this is a goal. Totally, this will work. Like
years ago, I saw this meme where someone had posted a picture of Higuain, and right as he's about to score, he sees that the goal area is like on Mars or some shit, and that's why he punts it. And like, you know what? That's accurate. It's accurate.
I mean, maybe it'll work one day if he's like right in front of the goal, like it's him and the goalie
and the goal. And if he punts it on the line of the goal, it can't go anywhere. You know, like he would have to punt it so hard it would just break the goal itself. I don't understand it. I want to talk to the man. I don't want to photograph, as J. Cole would say. I don't want to photograph, not with the president. I don't want to photograph with Higuain. I just want to talk to the man. I just want to fucking understand. Like, I feel like maybe he gets too excited. I mean, he sees this run, and I can see that, because people will get too excited and they'll lose control, because in their excitement there's just too much energy. To which I could see it, because like he gets too energized. He's running up to the ball. He's like, "Yo, I'm about to score. This is my fucking moment." Hyping himself up. He's so hyped.
This is the winning goal. Like
he's so hyped, dude, that he just punts it to Mars.
We're looking for.
And he punts it to Mars. It's so consistent. The most consistent player of Argentina this World Cup. Any World Cup. Higuain. Because you already know where the trajectory of the ball is going to go to. You know.
Seriously, what a player.
Gotta love him, man. Gotta love him. He seems like a great guy, too, honestly. But I don't know what's going on. That or they just gotta replace his foot.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a shame. It really is a shame that we're not going forward, because I think the team was actually starting to find its footing. Which is, I mean, you look at the other games that have happened in the last few days. Today, you look at today's game. Spain couldn't score more than one fucking goal on Russia. Are you kidding me?
Which some would argue, and I guess this is the last thing we should talk about.
Right. Are we going to talk about the fact that this World Cup's in Russia and Russia's a bad team?
Right. Russia has never done anything, no offense, right? But Russia has never done anything memorable in the World Cup, in my opinion.
Spain's one of the best teams. One of the best teams.
Right, which I disagree with, but statistically I can't argue against. Spain's one of the top teams, and you see how does that happen? How does Russia by now we understand that FIFA is a corrupt organization. I'm just baffled that they're letting Russia get this far.
Is it even believable?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm excited to see Russia's next game, because the thing is, Russia's in. I don't know if you've looked at the bracket, but the current World Cup bracket right now is kind of ridiculous. It's stacked with all the best teams on one side, or what is traditionally the best teams on one side. And Russia's kind of smack in there, because I was very much sure that Russia was going to be like... Spain was going to go through, right? Because that's kind of expected. But, I mean, no. It's absolutely insane to me. I really don't understand. Like, what I'm... Like, here's the thing. Russia is probably gonna have to play Croatia, not probably. Russia has to play Croatia now,
right? And Croatia's been playing really aggressively.
Croatia. If they lose to Russia, then I'm actually going to be angry.
Yeah,
because of I don't really understand. Yeah, but I'm sorry, I messed up. Russia's not on the side with all the traditionally good teams, but you look on the left side and you got Uruguay, Portugal, France, Argentina, Brazil, Mexico, Belgium, and the only one that's not traditionally a good team is Japan.
Right.
On that side. I mean, on the other side you got England and Colombia, and I mean, say what you might about English soccer, they might think they're amazing, but England has not had a great show. I mean, they've had a good showing this World Cup, but in recent years, England has not had a great showing. Even this one, they almost lost to Iran.
Right.
Sweden, Switzerland, I really don't know much about those two teams. Croatia, Denmark, which are decent, and then Croatia's kind of new to me. And then Spain and Russia. Like, you know, you would just expect Spain is going to get past this side, right? Like, right. You hear all those names, you're like, Spain. But no.
And
they're already out.
For me, I thought the bribery was in that fact. I thought the FIFA bribery this year would be that you have all the good teams stacked on one side, for the most part, right? You can't put every single good team, because then the bribery is too obvious. But you stack the craziest ones, you let them eliminate themselves, and then, you know, you have an interesting, you know, it's like you see like an underdog team, whatever. But this is some total bullshit, in my opinion. I did not expect it.
It would okay, so I mean, I want to see how it goes, because Russia and Croatia are going to play soon. When that happens, I want to know, or I want to see if that goes to penalties. I feel like, because penalties are the easiest ones to, because Russia and Spain went to penalties. Penalties are the easiest ones to kind of rig, in my opinion. Right. I think that all you got to do is talk to some players. Because penalties usually, if they miss the penalty, it's because of a bad kick.
Right.
Not because of the goalie being legendary. Like, you have some goalies that are great at reading players, like Ochoa, but for the most part, goalies make an educated guess, and sometimes it works.
Right.
But, you know, penalties are pretty much guaranteed, so all really you have to do to win a penalty is, convince the player that's going to take it to miss it.
Yeah. And I think that's a good point to kind of end our conversation here, because I don't want to go too overtime, but definitely look forward to us updating within the next week on what's happening, going to be happening within the next couple of days, because to be honest, it's quite interesting. We might be talking about mob ties next week, which is a good transition actually into our music section. But for now, kind of to transition out of there, we want to mention a song that we think, well, actually we're going to play it. I'm going to splice it in. The song that we're going to play right now is a break, and this is personally, okay, it's going to be kind of self-promoting here, but
first episode, come on, give us some leeway.
Yeah, give us some leeway here. We don't have all the sponsorships yet.
No ads
either. There you go, no ads. So I'm a producer.
Except for this ad from Blue Apron.
Dude, we'll start that. Don't doubt me. Don't doubt me.
Yeah,
but
you don't even know. Our
advertisement section, quote unquote. Anyways, you should listen to our song, a song that I produced for an artist that I work with, that I manage, called Tommy Gun. The song is the outro of the EP that we released last week. It's available on all platforms, but I'll be playing the song for you right now. Take a listen to it, and we will discuss afterwards. The song is called Around, and it's an outro for the EP by Tommy Gun.
This is Last Horseman. Who is this?
This is Flaming Dragon!
Oh, okay. Flaming Dragon. Fuckface. First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own...
Hey Pablo, you fuck with this shit? Love or hate, two sides of every take. Gets out of emotional, inner thoughts, inner lock. With the right key, dividing power with our enemies. Tug of war, tug of which side is right. I try to follow in the light.
I will fuck you up!
Cause I'm in the right, there's always an opposition. Switching my position, I try to suit everyone's standards, but can't satisfy myself. Excuse my manner and my speaking tone. You on speakerphone, you my speaking clone. Cause everyone bites each other flow. When you gonna find your own? And I shouldn't be stressing, cause it ain't affecting me. But I don't see any progress in the rap community. Unity is all we need, but told ain't less gross man is who I'm gonna be.
This is Last Horseman. Who is this?
and so I sit and take notes on the table, for they know society forces you not to be stable.
I will fuck you up!
But I grip my fist so fatal, reclining on bedroom table. I guess I got what I paid for, no one but myself to blame for. So I call upon my day ones, they tell me I'm on the come up, banging lyrics like I'm King Kong. This system is rigged and fucked up. Of an illegal game, backhand in the legal way. Backdoor deals, the sealed door frames seem to pop open when the deal done came. When the deal done came, record deals, I signing up my name. After signing, Tommy's life is never gonna be the same.
Alright, now that you've heard the song, hope you've all liked it. This is a song that we've been working on for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Juan Pablo produced the whole thing. And I mean, we've been playing around with it. We both really love Tropic Thunder. And I have this kind of love for my boy, Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
The Scientologist, the crazy man himself.
Juan loves Tom Cruise, but honestly, that sample, we were talking about using it. I promised you I would use it, and I was actually super surprised that the way the beat came together. I love the beat. Everything that the vocal was sampled as well. I'm surprised that everything worked out the way it worked out, to be completely honest.
I think that once the vocals came in, once you added the vocals into the overall beat, it really kind of tied the thing together.
And it's crazy because that was one of the last decisions for the track.
Yeah.
You know? We were really, me and Tommy were so stuck. Because I remember you had a concept for the song, which was Love and Hate, which Tommy actually does.
It is, the first
quite
lyrics.
Literally mentions love and hate. And it's interesting because like I saw where you were coming from, because Tom Cruise, obviously, and his character in Tropic Thunder, is a very aggressive manager, and of course the part that I sampled is one of the most aggressive scenes in the movie, and it's hilarious, but the beat is so mellow that it's this concept of like very aggressive Tom Cruise with very mellow beat, and definitely the vocal I think added to that mellowness, which is fantastic in my opinion. But we were really struggling to get a hook. I don't think Tommy's voice was mellow enough for the hook, and it turned out to be that I found a sample. Shout outs to Lander for the free samples, in case any producers are listening. We'll have some producer talk though in future episodes, so if anyone's curious as to my process or producer's processes or whatever, we'll definitely talk about it. Juan has been in the studio with me, so he knows some lingo. But yeah, I know that you, in my opinion, it's my favorite beat on the album. I don't know if you agree or disagree, but Juan.
Yo, sorry, you cut out for a second.
Oh, my bad. No, I was saying that the around outro beat is my personal favorite beat of the whole EP. I don't know if you agree or disagree.
I gotta say, I absolutely love most of the beats on this thing. I was pretty surprised because of how professional it sounds, how just kind of nice overall and just well made it is for something that really is, the first thing that you've produced and dropped. I think it's fantastic, and I've been checking the numbers on SoundCloud. It is growing, slowly but surely. and yeah, I think it's really impressive. Personally, I love that track, but I think I have to say, well, my favorite part of the album is the beat drop and Insta Classic.
Damn.
But my favorite beat itself might actually be the intro.
Okay.
I
like that.
I really, really like the intro. I think it captured me from the first time I heard it, which was kind of funny. I remembered you told me, I don't remember what I was doing that day, but you told me you dropped it, and I was like, I'll listen to it today. And then I was on my way home from my friend's place at like 3 a.m. And I was like, well, this is gonna be a walk, so I'll put it on. And on the way back, it hooked me immediately. I was like, damn, this sounds good. And I actually got home 2 songs before the end, and I was like, well, this is good. I'm gonna finish.
That's awesome. I'm personally honored to hear that, especially coming from you. You'll learn about this on the podcast, but Juan is much more of a picky listener than I am. So if Juan says something good about your music, it's probably because it's actually good. That's my opinion about your opinions, but you're very meticulous when it comes to music.
I mean, I like some garbage too, but the thing is, I feel that when I like garbage, I know it's garbage.
Right.
And like, I feel bad about it, but it's just like, yeah, I've been hooked on this shit, and I want to listen to it because it's fun to listen to, but not because of any kind of artistic reasoning that like, the song does something interesting to capture me.
Right.
But yeah, I think that especially what you've made is fantastic, and I really hope that some of our listeners just go through, listen to Tape 147. Especially if you're into rap, I think that Tommy Gun has a lot of potential for getting big.
I appreciate
in the future.
Appreciate that. Appreciate the mention. Yeah, don't forget, like, highly suggest it's on all platforms too, whether you are on Spotify or on Apple Music or even on Tidal or SoundCloud. It's on every platform. Just search Tommy Gun Tape 147 and it'll be right there. Very short too. It's about 16 minutes. That's as long as it is. 5 songs, very concise, but I think it encaptures the beginning of the roots of what Tommy Gun will be. It's all produced by me and it's all written by Tommy. So yeah.
Before we end this segment, I just wanted to have a quick shout out to whoever drew the concept art.
Oh yeah, Rob. Yeah, Rob is thank you for mentioning that, actually. Yeah, Rob, I hope you're listening to this. I'll send you the link to this podcast. But Rob, fantastic work on
incredible job. I hadn't even seen it before the album came out. And looked up Tape 147 and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, it's hella professional. We were getting a lot of people messaging us being like, hey, who's your designer? Because honestly, it's fantastic. And I think that we definitely want to keep working with Rob because he's extremely professional. He hustled his ass to get this done in less than a week. So, which is unbelievable to think, right? Like, the man has a job. He also designs on the side. Like, he's a human being, right, with a life. And he did that entire thing in less than a week.
That's incredible. It really, I mean, it's phenomenal how nice it is. And what I gotta say is, although the intro has more listens than the rest of the album, you can see I mean, at least on SoundCloud, you could see some consistency on listens. Kind of seems like once people start getting into the album, they listen through the whole thing, which is definitely a good thing. I mean, it's short, of course, but definitely a good thing. Means they like the sound. So that's what I like to see.
Yeah, and also on Apple Music right now, the starred song, because if anyone has Apple Music, they know that, like, Apple Music will star basically the hit of the album, and that's based on based on which song is streamed the most by a certain percentage, and it's definitely the intro. I mean, of course, people are always going to start with the first song, but people clearly keep hitting the intro song on Apple Music, so I'm happy for that. Anyways, without trying to push my own music any further than that, let's go on
to talk about some more music.
Yeah, let's talk about some other music. And no more and no less than Drake himself. Honestly, this album, so here's my take on this, right? You, I think, will undoubtedly disagree with this, but I think the numbers don't lie here. I'm going to start with a bold statement because I like bold statements. I think that this album, if he wasn't already solidified, I think that this solidifies Drake as currently the number one artist of our or at least rapper of our generation, by far. And you can say, hold on, before you comment, before you open your mouth, you can say what you want. Of course, does he have the best songs? Debatable. I think that obviously me and you are huge Kanye fans, despite all the bullshit. We love Kanye. I know that you love Chance the Rapper. We both are huge diehard fans of Kendrick. And I don't want to discredit anyone, right? But the thing about Drake, right, is he has been on the charts since 2009, maybe even 2008. I'm not entirely sure. Definitely 2009. And, 2019 is around the corner. So this man will have been on the Billboard for 10 years straight. Okay? The consistency of this man is incredible. The influence that he has on the community is incredible. I mean, think about Block Boy, right? Who he was getting his plays, but the second he collaborated with Drake, it catapulted him into the Double XL freshman class this year. Lil Baby, same thing. He was getting big, but it's like you get a Drake feature and it's over. And you can say this about other artists, right? But keep in mind that Kanye was featured on other artists' tracks, and that song was the hit of that album, but that's it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Kanye's Kanye. That sentence didn't really make much sense, but if you're a Kanye fan, you'll understand it. But but Drake has undoubtedly kept a firm grasp on the Billboard. He's kept a firm grasp on the hits, on radio play, consistency, and even because we saw him body Meek Mill. But that was nothing in comparison to what Pusha gave him. And Pusha slaughtered him. Like we were talking about this meme. We were going to talk about the Michael Jackson song, where Pusha bodied him and basically killed Drake, and Drake went to heaven just for that MJ feature, right? But he came back and he was like, listen, I don't care about the beef. I don't care about all that shit. I got a son. I'm a dad. I'm gonna be a good dad. I've been low-key a good dad. Debatable. We're not gonna say that, but he's had his eye on him. He hasn't neglected him. And he's like, hey, I'm the better person. I'm gonna be the good guy in this, and I don't care. And the reality is that, and I'm forgetting on which song he says this, but it might even be on 8 out of 10 as well. But he says, I think it is on 8 out of 10 actually, where he says that it doesn't matter what you say about me, but your trainer's gonna listen to my shit, your wifey's gonna listen to my shit. Doesn't even matter. Everyone's gonna listen to my shit regardless of you having bodied me. And I think that's incredible coming from someone who people were like, oh, his career is over. Ice Cube was tweeting, everyone has a defining 3-year moment. Ice Cube was like, yeah, every artist has 3 solid years, and after they peak, they start going down and they find their place in the rap community. Drake's been up for 10 years. Doesn't seem like he's dying anytime soon. So, say what you will, and I'll let you talk, but I think his run has been incredible, and if he's been able to change people like you, who you were not a Drake fan at all until Look Alive, right? That's power, in my opinion.
Yeah, honestly, it really surprised me how much I liked Drake's new album, especially coming from someone, I've never liked Drake. I've always thought that he's just kind of boring. He seems kind of monotone every time he raps. He just kind of never did anything that I thought was very particularly interesting, except complain in a monotone voice for a full album. And I get that he's been really popular and he's had some hits that not gonna lie, I've enjoyed his hits. They've gotten a little annoying from time to time, especially when Hotline Bling was
that was an era.
Yeah, but at the same time, Drake, he's an amazing artist. I wouldn't say he's the best of our generation or anything, but he's really developed as an artist, in my opinion. I think that he's kind of finding his own, in a way that, like, especially with the beefs that he's had, I think that that's kind of helped him stand out a little bit and, get a little more personality. And I think that's probably something that I like. I know that he's always been a personable rapper, and he always talks about his life and, his acting career and how, he used to be an actor and now he's a rapper and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, he never really captured me. And I don't know, for some reason, this album, with the beef with Pusha T, with the whole thing about his son, it kind of got me. And it, it obviously helps that Look Alive, for some reason, like, man, that's a jam.
Dude, because it's a banger. Take Keith, man. Take Keith. Shout out to Take Keith, because he actually liked my tweet. He liked and retweeted my tweet once recently. Shout out to Take Keith, though, because that beat on Look Alive was ridiculous. And that just basically, it was just one little lead, and he produced a lot on Simi, which is Block Boy JB's debut album, and again, also bangers, but nonstop on Drake's Scorpion album is incredible.
Yeah, and I'm gonna let you finish, but yeah, it came out like a month ago, and like that's Kanye's best thing since like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
I
so,
agree.
Like,
yeah, I think so too. Kind of, you pulled a Kanye on me about Kanye.
You already know.
Yeah, definitely that album. I mean, we could literally talk about all day about the good music releases.
Oh yeah,
so
good music is on fire right now. And if he does produce a Chance album, like you might have said, you don't even know. I'm on top of that.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, and I didn't send you this article, but I mean, I'll mention it right now since we'll wrap this up here. But Chance on an interview confirmed 3 things. 1, that Kanye album is happening. 2, there are 6 tracks so far, 6 bangers according to him, that have been recorded with him and Childish. And he's saying that the album...
hold up.
Yep.
6 bangers with him and Childish?
Yes.
On a 7-track song?
No. This is separate. These are
album?
separate projects. Separate projects. No,
okay.
The
You
Kanye...
don't even know if we got an album produced by Kanye that was a collaboration between Chance and fucking Gambino, I would die. I would die.
This is
my God.
You're dreaming. You're dreaming. That's never gonna happen. But I will say this. This is the reality. We have these things confirmed, right? 1, I think, well, it's already July. By the time y'all are listening to this, it's going to be at least July 2nd. But Chance said that he will be recording an album with Kanye in July, that 7-track thing that he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So far, he has recorded 6 bangers. Not 6 songs, 6 bangers with Gambino. And the album is said to be, according to him, it's going to be at least 14 songs. But he said it's looking like it's going to be way more than that.
This is the collaboration album?
Huh?
This is the collab album?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I know you're putting my hopes up. You're putting me in a place. You're just Argentinaing me right now, and frankly, I don't know if I could live with that, because it's like ASAP. Like ASAP was like, I'm gonna drop in 2017. Like he said that in 2016, in 2017. He said that in October in 2017. He said that in December in 2017. In December he was like, I'll drop by the end of the year.
Yep.
Didn't come out till March this year. And I like testing. I think it's good. But I don't. It might be because of all the other albums that have come out, but it's not the one that I'm listening to now. Right now, I'm listening to Kid See Ghost still, cause fuck, and I mean Scorpion, but
Right. Yeah. No, I feel it could be
I
argued
can't
that
my
it
hopes
wasn't
up
worth
like
the
this.
hype. I can agree with that. I don't know, man. This is what he's confirmed. I'm telling you verbatim what Chance said. So, He's
Gambino's
gaslighting us,
having
not me.
tour. It's going on tour.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is this. Listen to this. I didn't tell you the third thing that's confirmed. So on top of him having a Kanye-produced album, and on top of him doing this Gambino thing, he's also next month, or he's already starting. Basically, he's also doing another solo album. So,
Of course he is.
Yeah. So those are three things that he said.
We're gonna make the bar so hard. Wait, what is it? Fuck.
Bar so hard that's something I don't even remember.
Make it so free and the bar so hard that there ain't no part. Fuck.
Well,
you can't, if that there ain't no part you can't tweet.
There you go.
That's it. Yo, come on, Gambino, do it again. Not Gambino, Chance, do it again.
He'll do it. I'm prospective. I think it'll be cool. I'm more so looking forward to that Chance produced thing because that's the most recent one that's going to be 100%. I wasn't even honestly expecting that. So,
you know, the collab album, I never expected it to happen, and I still don't expect it to happen. But if it does, and we get more shit like
I already know what you're gonna say, but say
my favorite song. We get more shit like fucking. I don't even know. Like if we get anything like what's the song? What's the one on the mixtape?
What do you do? What collab are you thinking about?
Chance of Gambino.
Oh, okay. Well, no, you said there was another collab that you didn't think was gonna happen.
Oh, the J. Cole. Kendrick.
Oh, J. Cole Kendrick. That's just a myth. That's a myth.
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But you know, if it did,
bruh, if that happened, I would cry. But we won't talk about that. We won't talk about that. That's too much hype for one day. Yeah.
Oh, They Don't Like Me. That's the song I'm thinking about. They Don't Like Me. Really good collaboration between Gambino and Chance. And there's also, Chance hasn't been rapping too much. He's Chance the rapper, but he hasn't really been rapping that much in previous, in the last year or so. Or, I mean, in his last projects, they've kind of been more sing-songy, more like gospel-y.
Right.
His rap's kind of, it hasn't been hard. But, I heard a song the other day, I have no idea whose it was that Chance was featured in.
Wasn't it the song I told you about? It was the G Herbo song featuring him and Lil Uzi Vert.
I don't think that was it. I haven't heard that one.
Because I sent it to you, but that one
Best Life. Best Life. Who's that by?
That's
Cardi B.
Oh, yeah.
He's actually rapping.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to see. I want to see some songs with Gambino and Chance rapping. That's what I want.
Listen, supposedly they're catering to the audience that wants that, so I'm hoping that we see that return. And I think we will.
Excited.
I think we will.
I'm excited. I mean, I haven't heard Gambino go hard in a while,
Yeah.
I mean, Awaken My Love is my favorite project of his, by far, honestly.
Keep in mind, we're still waiting on that Gambino. Keep in mind.
The last one.
So there's more in store. I think we'll have plenty to talk about. I think, and this is just an ending note for the music thing before we wrap up and we give our media to watch for next week.
For the week, yeah.
The only thing I want to say is this: you'll definitely be hearing us talk more in depth, and I think it'll be perfect. More in depth on the good music projects that happened last month. If when the Chance album
happens.
Yeah, because I feel like that will be a good way to be like, all right, we've heard the Pusha, we've heard the Kanye, we've heard Kitsy Ghost, we've heard Tiana Taylor, we've heard Nas. Now let's hear Chance, and then let's kind of talk about that progression between now that will be the 6th album produced by Kanye in 1 year, right?
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
This man, I mean, he's just going for the Grammys. You already know.
Hey man, I hope so. They have to honor him at this point. I don't think this is a legendary move. So
yeah. All right.
Media for next week.
Sorry, media for next week. Yeah. So I was thinking. Well, we want to talk about in particular. We want to talk about Hereditary, which is a horror movie that came out this past month. It is still in theaters, and The Witch which is another horror movie by A24. They're very similar movies in a way, but we want to talk in more depth about the two, and the similarities, the differences, and more than anything, what makes these movies stand out among, the countless horror movies that come out every year. What makes these movies actually scary. So I mean, if you're into horror movies, if you want to listen to us talk about it, tune in next week. We'll probably talk about that for a bit. Should we do Ant-Man next week? Should we do that at all?
I think so. I want our main segment to be on The Witch and Hereditary. So that'll be our just so the listeners are in tune with that. That'll be our main topic.
There's a lot to say about those.
A lot to talk about. We'll try. I don't know if we're going to do this yet, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know if I want to do a non-spoilers and then a spoilers, or I think we might just go in depth, have our listeners just be in tune with it. That's why we're asking you to watch it, so that way you can understand what we're talking about. And, I mean, if we can make Ant-Man a mini-topic, we'll see, depending on how much we feel we have to talk about the movie. But
depending on whether or not you see it. I mean, there probably won't be a lot to say.
Yeah.
Frankly, I think it'll probably be good. It'll probably have an after-credit scene that's what we're going to want to talk about, considering Infinity War.
Right.
But other than that, I think it'll probably just be a fun romp. A funny, fun romp with Michael Pena being the standout, just like he was in the first one.
Of course. But yeah, for next week, definitely, if you're interested in being in tune with the conversation that we're going to have, definitely watch Hereditary and The Witch. Both great movies. Both we're going to talk about their standouts, why we think that they're standouts, especially now with horror on the rise. I think you can agree with me on that one. Definitely, horror has seen a much better presence
like
now.
A revolution, of horror movies. I would say if you have to choose between one of two, you don't have time, watch Hereditary. I know you have to go to theaters to watch that one, but it's
it's 2018. Do you really? We hope you go to theaters.
Choose between the two. It's I don't know if I'd say it's the better one, but it's the one that'll keep you entranced. The Witch has a little bit of an issue with dialogue that
we will talk about.
That we'll talk about more extensively next week.
Yeah, we hope that you get to see it in theaters. I don't recommend watching horror films in environments that don't promote that kind of feel, even if you're going to watch it at home.
Don't promote torrenting.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, but if you're going to watch it at home, definitely turn the lights off, blast that speaker, watch it with someone you feel you could be safe with. Maybe not, who cares? Point is, watch it. I think it's both are definitely worth watching, but again, like Juan said, if you feel like you can't watch both, then Hereditary is definitely the one to go, because we most likely will end up talking more about that one. But yeah, I think that's it for now.
Yep.
Definitely.
That's it for me.
Yeah, check on that media. We hope you enjoyed the first episode. Gobekli Tepe. Follow us on Podbean. Follow us on YouTube if you're watching from YouTube. Follow us on the Apple Podcasts if you're watching from the Apple Podcasts. We'll try to even put it on Spotify if when we get the chance. But definitely thanks for listening. We will have major updates for next week as usual, and as always, you already know the media that we're going to be covering. And if you have any suggestions, you can email us. I'll have the email posted in the description box on YouTube, and it'll be somewhere, wherever you find the information on the other two platforms. That's pretty much it, I think. Yeah. So,
yeah.
And we'll have guests in the future, so that to kind of spice up the conversation, of course, as usual. But yeah, thanks for listening. Juan and Juan signing off, and we'll catch you in the next week.